Just a sound check for us all. It seems to me it's about time to talk about some interesting developments in the world that we live in. And it's a time of turmoil and change, which I guess is what we've been looking for. But we have a situation where we have what I refer to as the loonies running the nut house. And basically, what could possibly go wrong? So he's asking employees to kiss the ring or not retire, or to quit, I guess. Anyway, so we have this situation where I've been thinking, what we really need is to absolve the threat that's provided by our governments to us personally and to the world in general. Because our governments are inevitably affiliated with a military arm, or in some cases the military arm is the government. Or in other cases, it might be the church. They're one and the same, all three being basically control units to try to control everyone and suck them for money. So it kind of comes down to we have a problem with this idea of money and who has it and who doesn't. So we have a situation where if we want to participate in their game, capitalism, we're losing. They're winning. They've won. 3 people own more than 150 million. So I'd say it's the end game for capitalism. Time to change the tune to something a little more soothing. So what I'm saying is, I think we should create a group called the Off Ramp. Tired of the rat race? Tired of working your ass to the bone and not getting paid for it? Take the off ramp. You hear me? So the off ramp is an alternative. Now, the way the structure of the system works, unless you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, you can't really win. Because on the East Coast, they have something called closed primaries, which means unless you're a Democrat or a Republican, you cannot be there. You aren't on the ballot, and therefore there's no way you will ever win. So our system is basically, it's constructed in a way where now that it's become obviously totally corrupt, to the point where the last election, who will I vote for? The 34-time felon or the promoter of genocide? Gee, let me think. How about neither? So what we're talking about, people, is the off ramp. If you don't like it, take the off ramp. The off ramp is an alternative. The idea, okay, capitalism is dead. Democracy doesn't exist and probably hasn't for 50 years. Okay, so what we have, as far as the United States goes, is a capitalistic controlling unit called a government. Now, in other places it might be called socialistic or whatever they want to call it at this particular Tuesday or whatever it happens to be. The whole point is, if you have a controlling structure that requires the populace to support it, yet the structure itself does not really give back. It takes your money, and it might get a little back, maybe here and there, once you retire, if you ever get to that point. And what we have is a situation where it's totally inequitable. Okay, once you do retire, you retire on so little you can't survive anyway. So it's a broken system. It doesn't work. So what we need is, rather than competing with each other to make more money than our next door neighbor, why don't we cooperate with each other, create co-ops? Screw the corporations. They're useless. I mean, what do they give you? All the high rises in NYC. Everybody's got to have one if you're a big corporation. But meanwhile, Wall Street, it's a fantasy land. That is not an economy. The economy is the blood, sweat, and tears the workers spend to get a loaf of bread. Now that is the economy. It's not some fat cat who acts like a hoarder who wants his hoard to be bigger than anyone else's hoard and doesn't even touch that money. It sits in a bank somewhere, probably in Switzerland. Okay, so these guys are making what? They get a temporary loan if they want to do something. And they get it at excellent rates because they're rich. The rich get better rates. What a deal. You know, they don't need to get better rates. They just do. Because everybody wants to be rich. But how many people get to be there? 3 out of 150 million? I'd say pretty poor odds. You know? So, time to take the off-ramp. The off-ramp is change. The off-ramp is a cooperative society. It's not a competitive society. And if we have members of the society that do not contribute, well, unless they can be persuaded to understand that that's how the society functions, well, they can go find another society somewhere else. One where they fit in better. And as far as the next step, so we've gotten rid of the military, we've gotten rid of the government, so we're going to have no more wars. All that money, all that abundance that's been focused into weapons of destruction and better ways to kill people will be useful. It'll be part of the economy. So that means you and I will have a lot more money floating around out there to cash in on. But why bother? Capitalism is dead. It's proved itself to be dead. Let's try an alternative system. So we have to figure out, okay, we can create our own banks. It won't really be a bank per se, but it'll be a registry of your credits that you have gained from your contributions to your society. And that will replace money. Everybody within that society will be provided a comfortable life, and also my concept is we have something called workshops. And a workshop is basically a workshop, a school, a library, a manufacturing place, a R&D center, everything from electronics to mechanical to philosophical to educational to anything is at the shop. So everybody can go to the shop. Everyone of all ages has access to the shop. They merely wander through the different areas they're interested in, and they have learning available. So we have people is a cooperative atmosphere with pretty much whatever we want that's community supported, and it's everybody's partial responsibility to make sure the shop remains undamaged. So if you see somebody damaging the shop, it's, everybody uses the shop. Damaging the shop would be uncool, man. So anyway, if those kind of people want to do stuff like that, then go find another place where they fit in better, if they don't want to change their ways. So we have a cooperative society on pretty much all levels. And none of this, okay, kids, we're going to send you off to whatever school, and you're going to learn whatever they teach you. And meanwhile, the kid isn't interested in any of it. So what we have is a place where the kid wanders into this building, and he wanders around, sees all this stuff. There's people doing art. There's people doing dance. There's people doing music. There's people doing mathematics, theoretical physics. There's people doing chemistry and advanced biology, all sorts of stuff. Whatever they're interested in, they're welcomed in. And if nothing else, they can watch and learn. So we have a situation where the community supports the shop. The community profits by the shop. The shop gives the community schooling. The shop gives the community employment. And the shop makes enough money by selling finished products to not only support the shop, but everybody that works in the shop, which is the community. All ages, whether you're going to school, or whether you're doing construction of some sort, or you're doing a philosophical dissertation, or a performance, whatever it may be. All these can be ways where the community is appreciated and we can receive something in exchange. And that something might be, 400 watermelons or something. Who knows? We don't know. We'll just have to establish that as we go. But we do have to eat. We do need shelter. We do need a place to work and a place to learn. We have all those things already. It's just a matter of take a week off of work. 1 week. Do not show up at work. Take your phone off the hook, whatever. Take a week off of work. Do not go in. What that's going to do is it's going to show them where the power truly lies.